At Orange Button, we've created apps that can run checks and add information to the calculation components. In this video, I will demonstrate a couple of these apps and demonstrate how easy it is. First off, the Aperture app. More and more openings are modeled in the BIM environment as a physical BIM object. Most of the time, these openings are also planned for execution by the general contractor, leaving no space for optimization based on the selected firestop solution. For instance, if you use a filler, you will need a smaller opening than if you would use a mineral fiberboard solution. You can start the OneClick app from the Orange Button ribbon. Every OneClick app has somewhat the same layout and is easy to use. In this app, you can filter opening components and select them for checking. In this project, the result is an empty list. Conclusion: none of the opening families affect the calculation components. Next up, we are going to check if any of the calculation components are too close to each other. For instance, these two pipes. For this, we are going to use the MSP app, which stands for Multi-Surface Penetration. As you can see, the layout is almost the same as that of the Apertures app. In the MSP app, you see all of the selected components that you could check: the calculation, solution and MSP components. The app checks the distance between two installations, resulting in a list where these two elements are combined. You can run the app with other settings, such as a different distance, to change the result, eventually leading to an MSP component generated around the combined installations. For a correct quote of the project, it is interesting to know the working height of the firestop solutions. Do you need a ladder, a scaffolding, or a scissor lift? In this app, you can select the floor from the linked files that you work from. Normally, these would be the floors from the structural models. You can also select levels to check those as well. After processing, you can review the results in the app and process them in your BIM. Dividing the project into different segments can help you better plan the project. In this example, I am adding two scope boxes to the project. One on the left side of the floor plan, giving it the specific name of the grid layout, and one on the right side of the project, also naming it after the grid layout. In the OneClick Scope app, you can add this location information in the calculation components. First by selecting the relevant scope boxes, and then by checking the scope. The result is presented in the list. We now have added aperture, MSP height and scope information to the calculation components. It is time to number the components so that we can follow them better throughout the design process. You can number each type of component individually and change some of the number settings, like the prefix in this example, numbering the MSP values with a prefix. Afterwards, we can also number the calculation components without a prefix and check the results in the list. After clicking on the Process in BIM button, the result is processed in the model. And here we are again. Time to export the results. As you can see, the results of the OneClick apps are added to the calculation components, creating an even more valuable list for your quotation. But the JSON list is not the only result that we could export.